Boom. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for patiently waiting. We are going to get started here with the podcast. This is the top 50 NA TF2 players of all time event presented by RESUP.gg. I'm going to be your host, Banny. Going to be joined by many familiar faces, some of the most experienced and knowledgeable players in the TF2 scene. We'll get to that in a bit. But tonight's an exciting night, a fun event for everyone to appreciate here. We're going to be trying to compile the official list of the top 50 NA TF2 players of all time. That's the goal. By the end of tonight, we're going to try and come away with one list that we can all try and agree on. Is that even possible? We'll see. A lot of differing opinions, I'm sure, will be coming forward tonight. I've reached out to a lot of players around the top level scene. Up to 20 players have submitted lists. We're going to be compiling them all. Our panelists are going to weigh in, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's it. I'm very excited. So thank you guys again for joining me here tonight. We do have a couple things I'd like to cover before we move into the nitty gritty of it. So first things first, want to give everyone some background about what this all is. RESUP.gg, it's a relatively new thing. It's a sort of endeavor that I kicked off only a couple months ago, really. Started in January with our first event. But essentially all it is just a mission to bring fun and unique content and events to the TF2 community. We will put on things from LANs to online cups, show matches, podcasts like the one tonight, and more. Trying to think outside the box, do things that other people aren't doing, do things that need to be emphasized in the scene, whether it be casual or competitive. We want to really just engage all TF2 fans and help TF2 reach its full potential. I think the big thing really that's going to set us apart, though, is sort of our philosophy and our approach to things. We really want to be grassroots, community, and player focused. There has been some, rather unpleasant and disappointing patterns in the TF2 scene where people miss sort of the point of all this. We really want to be here for TF2. TF2 is not our stepping stone to bigger things. We're here for TF2. We want to avoid the drama. We want to avoid all the unnecessary BS, and we just want to put on great events for TF2 players to appreciate. So that is the goal here tonight. Tonight is just another one of our events. I plan to hopefully put on maybe one per month this year. That's the goal. The calendar is looking very full. I've been preparing for the last few weeks to get this one together, and then after this, we're going to go straight into the next one. So if all of that sounds good to you guys, there are ways to support what we're doing here. If you head over to shop.resup.gg, we actually just launched some brand new merch designs. You can see the unusual cosmetic, the strange cosmetic, and the limited edition collector's cosmetic designs. Those are over on the storefront right now, along with many of our past designs. We did just retire our last limited edition one, which was the Fullerton Land design. So make sure to get those limited edition ones while they last. But of course, as always, those sales will always support our grassroots events. So do appreciate anyone repping the merch out there. I hope to see some of your guys' photos modeling them, and at our LANs and stuff, I hope to see plenty of you guys wearing them. Of course, if you want to donate directly as well, you can. Donate.resup.gg. That's where you do that. So check out the shop, donate if you want to. Helps us to put on more events and to not only fund prize pools, but also to compensate the people that put all this stuff together, like, a lot of these graphics and the technical stuff, the people behind the scenes. I think we want to, treat them right as well. So, support if that sounds good to you. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our panelists tonight. There they are. Look at them. Looking so beautiful here. We've got myself, of course. We got Habib. We've got Marmaloo. We've got Bot Mode, Jay, Patty, Eric, and Skis. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us here tonight. If we could, though, I would like everyone to just introduce themselves to the audience here tonight. Give us a little bit of background on yourself, your name, what class and role you play, when did you start in competitive TF2? What's your team history? Kind of, give us the overview there. What are some players that you looked up to the most when you were rising the ranks? And what is your proudest competitive TF2 achievement? Really, what we're trying to do here tonight as part of this event is celebrate the history of TF2. So anything, from your early days, chronicling your journey to the top is something that we'd love to hear about. I'll just start off real quick for myself, just so you guys can kind of follow my lead. Of course, I'm Banny. I currently play Combo Scout for Froyotech. I've been playing competitive TF2 since like 2009. Played on a pub community team first, then just kind of found my way into an ESEA team, and just a naturally competitive person. I quickly rose up the ranks, got into Invite after only a couple seasons, and then kind of the rest is history. Formed Froyotech in 2014, and that's been my team ever since. But when I was starting out, a lot of players that I looked up to were like Reptile, Ruin, Dummy. And one of the cool things that I've had the chance of experiencing was actually getting to be teammates with a lot of those players, which was kind of a surreal experience. Was, starting out as a beginner and then, idolizing some of these players, and then eventually getting the chance to play with them and win with them alongside them, which was really awesome. And as far as my proudest competitive TF2 achievement, I've done a lot, but I definitely got to give a nod to our most recent achievement at LAN, localhost LAN. We had a flawless LAN, not a single round dropped over the entire event, which I've never done in my history. So in a way, almost every person here contributed to that. Shout out to Skis and Bot Mode for helping. But yeah, so yep, I'll go ahead and pass it off then. Habib, give us your introduction, your name, class, your competitive history, players you looked up to, proudest achievement. Take it away.
All right, guys. You might know me as Habib Six God. I'm currently the demo man for Team Froyotech. When did I start competitive TF2? A long time ago. Straight out of the trade servers in the Highlander to sixes, rose up the ranks, had to take a map or two off Banny, couldn't beat him, so I had to join him, and the rest is history. Players I look up to the most, definitely my team leader, Banny, Platinum. But honestly, nowadays, my teammates, my opponents, I look up to them the most. They give me the inspiration that I need. My proudest competitive TF2 achievement, honestly, all of them collectively, because I'm still undefeated at LAN, baby.
That's true. That's pretty special. Nice. Well, let's hope we can keep that going, huh, Habib? Next one up, let's get Marmaloo. Give us your intro.
I'm Marmaloo, roamer main, pocket main, demo enthusiast. I think first season 21 of ESEA, and then Invite, Meat Market, Skis cut me. Played with Sam and Shamu, Bear, Jarrett, and then eventually Ascent, and then Froyo Black, and other stuff now Froyo. Players I looked up to: Mela, Seagull, and probably Shadowburn. And proudest achievement, either beating the hell out of Banny in that one cup when I went 10-40, or the last LAN. One of those two.
Yeah, you've had some good performances in those like cups and stuff.
Well, I haven't had good performances.
Well, results, I should say. But that's your role, the roamer. A lot of time you're the sacrifice, so there's value in that. As we'll get into tonight, we'll talk about what makes a good player. So now let's pass it over to Bot Mode. What's up, Bot Mode?
Oh, I'm Bot Mode. I play Flank Scout for G6 currently, but I've played like every other class except Medic at some point. I started playing competitive TF2 in like 2013, I think. But I didn't play my first season for a long time, so not sure how much that really counts. Played my first Invite season 21, and then got fourth, which was pretty cool. Beat some players in this call when I did that. It's cool. Once or twice. Played with some players in this call once or twice, when I first started, since I was so young, all the players that I looked up to don't play anymore. I looked up to YZ, never got to play with him. Kind of disappointed with that. Looked up to TLR, kind of similar case. There was a little bit of overlap, but I wasn't playing when he was playing, unfortunately. And then yeah, those are kind of the two that like stick out in my mind. But there's some others. And those are kind of Flank Scout and Pocket Soldier were kind of the two roles that I clung to off of that. And yeah, I think I don't know what my proudest TF2 achievement or accomplishment is, but I have had in the past like the second places or been tied for it on some like asterisk, so I'd like to return to that if possible. Took some time off and lost it.
Excellent. Yeah, you did mention that a lot of us have played together. I guess we are all sort of Froyotech at one point or another, but obviously
I don't think I've played with you, right?
Nope. Barbara and I played for like
BTS. It was the
1
BTS
month.
Sam.
It's not a real team though.
We played 0 matches.
Legendary
Yeah.
2-week period though.
sad.
Let's go to 2-week team of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
What? Never mind.
Okay.
Benny,
Well,
Benny would have gotten his butt whooped.
you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you got spared the beating. I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. We'll never know. Jay, how's it going?
Nothing much. I'm Jay. I play Flink Scout for Froyotech. How I started my competitive TF2 journey was I was a pubber in the trade Minecraft server. They wanted to make a team. I joined. Oh, I had to MGE for a spot, actually. I remember that. I had to MGE for a spot on the team. I ended up beating whoever, and I
You
got
don't
on the
remember who it
team.
was?
No, not really.
Oh, too bad.
But I started out as a scout, then climbing the ranks. I played a mix of Pocket Scout for MLX, Roamer for Black Swan, Dexter's Lab, Pocket Soldier for Froyo, Ascent. Now I'm a flank scout for Froyo now.
Dynamic player.
Yeah. Oh, and I also play medic, but I don't. It's kind of like whatever.
You got dropped by a
That's not
frog.
real.
Players I looked up the most was really Enigma. I was a fan of his movement, his clutch capabilities, and he's Asian.
Yeah. Hey,
Representation.
He paid the way for a lot of you guys. So
True. Proudest achievement has to be the Fullerton land. Undefeated. It's actually crazy. Unreal. It's amazing.
yeah, and you were basically LAN MVP. So you got to be proud of that. Cool. Thank you, Jay. Patty, what's up?
Hi, I'm Patty. I started playing comp in, I think 2012 actually. I was playing like Highlander or something as a backup heavy. Those are my origins in comp. But yeah, I basically, this kind of ties into my idols a little bit, but basically I watched Season 10 LAN and I watched TLR and Relic and that whole mix-up team, play pretty crazy, those soldiers, and I decided I wanted to main soldier. So naturally, one of my great idols was TLR. I'm currently not on a team, but I have a project in the works. But yeah, I've fun fact is I've made playoffs on every class in Invite except Flank Scout and Demo. I've made playoffs on Medic. People tend to forget this. I got 4th a long time
What
ago.
team was that?
Meat Market.
Oh, nice.
Which season?
But
was that?
Season 1 RGL.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people forget that. But anyways, so I've played pretty much like most classes at a playoff level. I'm typically though a soldier main. I'll tend to play pocket or roamer, and basically I main soldier, and then I got to invite I think in about 3 or 4 seasons after I started playing sixes. And then Banny rescued me from the slums of low invite, and yeah, I started winning a whole bunch after that. And yeah, in terms of what am I missing? In terms of basically my proudest achievement, I would say my proudest achievement was winning Rewind 1 by far, mainly because it was sort of a way to prove that, you know, my performance and my team's performance at I-58 was not was just a fluke, and it was not going to happen again. So that was my proudest
Yes,
achievement.
sir.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. It was definitely a nice redemption story, and you know, World Championship, always something to be proud of. Excellent. Okay, thank you, Patty. Also, nice mustache, rocking the chatty
Patty,
look.
what is this tweet?
Mm.
What is this tweet, Patty?
What tweet?
Is there a tweet? What's the tweet?
I'm shitting myself.
What?
You tweeted it 14 minutes ago. What happened?
Oh, are you getting stressed out over there?
Yeah.
A lot of pressure, but you're doing fine. You're okay. Just make sure to clean up. Okay, now down to Eric. What's up, Eric? It's been a while. You're looking like a whole new man.
Yeah, okay. It's been 4 years. Alright, I'm Eric. I play Scout. I started comp, I think 2015. Played on some teams, and then got picked up on Froyo, I think 2017, and played 4 years with them. And yeah, I think during that time we went undefeated, won 3 lands, good stuff. Players I looked up to, I'm gonna say the basics: Clockwork, Enigma, Banny, and then when I was in Open, I actually looked up to High Five when he was on
Same.
Cave Monster. I wanted that guy to mentor me, but I'm pretty sure he like declined my friend request at that time.
Oh.
So yeah, hey, fuck
Oh,
you.
Kyle.
Anyways. Yeah.
I only just got on his friends list, so it's tough.
Get us?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Proudest achievement, I would say, season 29, winning that for ESEA, just cause I think we were considered the underdogs that season, and it felt good beating Shade after he like left our team and he made that ghetto ass version of Froyo, and we got to win it with Aim, and Aim's my boy, so yeah. But then we cut him,
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, I feel bad.
Why did you say like that?
Yeah, true. Yeah, Eric, you've always been a bit of an encyclopedia when it comes to seasons. I can always depend on you to remember exactly which season is which and what the rosters were and all that kind of stuff. So definitely happy to have you here. And I mean, we miss you. How's life been ever since you stepped down from TF2?
It's honestly the same. Like, I can't even lie. Like, I don't do anything. Like, deadass. I just play Animal Crossing, I watch anime, and I sleep. That's literally it. Like,
Survive.
honestly, I might need to come back. Honestly,
It might be time.
it might be time.
Maybe you can be
Enough, Eric.
you can be what Shade once was to us. You can
Yeah.
create your own Froyo tech that we can
Yeah.
destroy. Cool. And then Skis to round out the panel. Welcome, Skis.
Hi, so my name's Skis, aka Bobo, aka Beast Mode. I started playing Highlander in like 2015. I was originally a scout main, but my medic sucked, and therefore I moved on to medic. And then I played sixes a couple seasons later, started on scout again, my medic sucked again, moved on to medic, and then I think my first season of Invite was 23 or 24 on Meat Market. And then I guess I'm most known for either Froyo or Ascent, which was my first like real team, season 30, season 31, which I co-led with Mr. Bot Mode over here. And then I played 4 seasons on Froyo, won 3, and we don't talk about the 4th. Players I looked up to the most are Harblue and Nursey? Shade 2, I don't know. Proudest competitive TF2 achievements. Oh no, I never won a LAN or anything. But winning online for the first time was super cool.
Yeah. Cool. You see a land victory in your future? You guys got second place at the most recent one.
I'm retired. I'm just a ringer now.
What? No. Okay.
Ringer.
Well, it's good that you at least got to taste first place a couple times. All right. So thank you everyone for your introductions. We are gonna move into the actual lists here shortly. But before that, I did want to make just a quick another little announcement to everyone, a little reminder. So let me just move this along one. Oh, actually, I forgot this was here. We're going to discuss the ranking guidelines, actually. Then we'll get into the lists and all that. So now that you know everyone who's here, you know they're all well-respected and knowledgeable. Now let's talk a little bit about the ranking guidelines. So when I was putting this together, I basically, wanted everyone to follow similar sort of criteria to compile their lists. And those are all on the screen right now. The one main criteria that was kind of the gatekeeper above all was that every player must have played at LAN, and that LAN performances would be valued over online performances. I'm curious what you guys all think about that. For me personally, I just feel like LAN is a whole nother ball game. If you can play on LAN, that's when you really prove yourself. It's an even playing field, all that kind of stuff. But I felt like it was kind of necessary that if you want to be a great of all time, you probably had to have proven yourself on LAN. Obviously, a bit of a bottleneck since there hasn't been too many LANs recently, but I'm curious how you guys feel about LAN and sort of the importance of that to being a great TF2 player.
I think there's only been one player. There's only one player that I wanted to put on my list who hasn't been to a LAN. So, yeah. It's pretty reasonable to have gone to a LAN, and most of the LAN tournaments have been higher quality tournaments than online ones. So there's been a couple that shall not be named, or who cares,
Yeah. Are these the alleged IHOP lands that you guys have been talking about? Or Mickey Mouse lands?
Mickey Mouse lands. Oh, Sweet Land.
Hey, that was a real land. We had to travel so far to get there. Hey, they were good.
Mickey Moose Land.
You gotta. They keep on your
You guys
toes.
have never played against
Okay,
a heavy sniper.
I really like
Exactly.
Lopander. They were not as fair like the third place team.
We were the first ones to get a taste of Reckoner.
Yeah,
You could have just banned it.
Lopander was
Why did we
lit,
not ban it?
Did we lose on that map? I think we did.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
you
got
did.
clapped. We lost on that, like
Oops.
3-0.
That was straight ego then.
Yeah, that was.
Damn, we should have learned from that then. It would have saved us a recent embarrassment, but that's okay. So any other thoughts, guys? LAN, what's the importance of it? Habib, what do you think?
I definitely think LAN, for one thing, if LAN is the one place where everyone has equal footing, same FPS, NASA computers, 240 hertz monitors, you can see the pores on their skin, like literally. I think LAN is the pinnacle. So if LAN is the pinnacle of our competitive scene, as it is in pretty much every other competitive scene, whether you consider it like a huge esport or a tier B, tier A esport, LAN tournaments are still the height of that, in my opinion. So if you can play and prove yourself at LAN, if you can dodge the LAN curse, which is to choke and to crumble under the pressure, then I think that will have a massive impact on where these people will rank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. So unless anyone else wants to chime in, I think Habib kind of summed it up well. Patty, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that as a West Coast player, and I'm sure you can relate.
Good point. Yes.
LAN is really truly like something that I think is really important because it puts us on an even ping playing field.
Exactly.
And frankly, as a projectile main historically, there are certain fights you just simply can't take as a high ping player that a low ping player can just take with utmost confidence, and that's just a reality of the game.
Yeah, I was actually
ping Mickey Mouse.
I was contemplating making one of these guidelines be consider ping, but I thought, yeah, that definitely could have changed a few people's placements. But
I think having the argument that LAN is more important kind of is enough for that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because certain people, even with low ping, are better at LAN anyway. So
yeah, definitely. Cool. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, there was a bit of a drought of LANs. So It was tough for everyone to get to a LAN for a few years, but we're hoping to change that. You know, we just put on a LAN last month, and it's not going to be the last one. So hopefully LANs will be back on the calendar, and everyone out there can, you know, attend, prove themselves, and maybe see themselves on a list like this one day. So as for the other criteria, I kind of gave some broad strokes of what I'd like for you guys to consider. Obviously, skill is important. Your in-game impact kind of goes hand in hand. Achievements and longevity of career. That also maybe ties into like legacy. What that one's more about, the legacy one, is more about like players that push the envelope, people that raised the bar for everyone, that contributed to the evolution of the game. And there's definitely a few players that stand out there for me. And then a couple other things that I think are really important as well. I personally value multi-classing. I think if you're one of the best players of all time, a good sign of that is that you can play multiple classes. You're very well-rounded. But obviously, there's going to be players that were just so damn good at one class that it's undeniable that they were one of the best, even though they only play one class. And then sort of the intangibles, you know. For me in particular, leadership was a really important one. There would be players that, you know, skill-wise maybe wouldn't be as high, but leadership for me was one of the most important things that I valued, since, you know, I'm a leader myself, and I think that a lot of the teams succeed based on the quality of their leadership. But yeah, those sorts of things, being a good teammate, I do value that a lot, attitude, etc. So maybe any of you guys can chime in which of these, you know, other criteria were important to you, particularly if any of them stood out. Why don't we have Patty chime in, I guess. You have some ideas, I'm sure.
Yeah, for me, I think multi-classing is something that I find important, but like you said, there's a lot of specialist players that just were so dominant that it kind of is one of those metrics that may not always apply. I think legacy is important. I think just kind of, I don't know, I definitely value, like, even if the era itself, you can argue, might have been weaker or, you know, was a sloppier era in terms of play, I definitely value players that were dominant during a certain time period, even if that time period you might view sort of lowly in terms of the skill. So that's something that personally was important to me. And obviously, I definitely value intangibles a lot, and but it's kind of hard to gauge that. I think that's something I observed. So just because you haven't always played with all these players, or so you're not always aware of some of the intangibles that they do have.
Yeah, makes sense. How about you, Bot Mode? Any of these other criteria that were most important to you?
I think I feel opposite of Patty on multi-classing a bit, ironically, where I think, you know, just like how impactful you are, regardless of what class or how many classes you can play effectively, or is ultimately what important. And like, I think I would put like how like your skill level over your like actual placement in a way. Because I think who you beat or who you're like directly better than is a bit more important than what you actually place. Obviously, winning things is still important though, so they're kind of how I felt about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll leave it open. Marmalou, Jay, Eric, Skis, Habib. Any other input? Which sort of these criteria were most important to you guys?
I agree with Bauman. I don't really care about multi-classing too much. It's like a tiebreaker, but
Yeah, that's
I don't really. It's not like, ooh, they're mediocre on 3 classes. Oh,
I'm kind of with him
irresistible
on that one too.
Okay.
If they're multi-classers and have like high impact, high skill, then that would matter, right? But anything else, no.
I think I'm going to value intangibles just slightly higher than skill, because there have been some amazing godlike players who just never miss, but they lacked everything else.
Yep, that's how I feel too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Skis is, I would
Are
say,
there
an
any
intangibles
names?
player himself.
Excuses,
Mhm.
exactly.
I'm a solid open player without comms.
You bring good vibes.
Hey,
Yeah,
so-
vibes. I should have
We'll
put
get to
vibes
it.
in the parentheses there.
I have,
Vibes.
I have a whole paragraph ready for Skis
Nice.
later on.
Ooh.
Specifically for
Okay,
skills.
okay.
Yeah.
Wrote
It
an
has to-
essay on
it
like
has to do
Jesus.
with his intangibles.
My
Alright.
7,000 word essay: Why Skis is the #1 player.
Awesome. How about you, Eric? Anything here stand out to you?
I mainly looked at achievements / longevity, but then close second, I would say skill and intangibles. That's just how I ranked it.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Sounds good. So, everyone had their own kind of approach, but in the end, a lot of the lists ended up being very similar. So I think you guys will see that if someone's good, we'll all kind of recognize it. And a thing I just want to note is 50 is a very restrictive number. There's a lot of great players out there, and some of them won't make this list for one reason or another. And I'll also say that being on the top 50 is pretty amazing, on its own. So whether you're in the top 10 or in, the top like 40 or whatever, it's still something that I think we should all just recognize as pretty amazing to be able to, be on that list. So let's go into it not being like super hypercritical and recognize that these are all great players we're trying to celebrate, and we're not trying to like, trash talk anyone or anything really here. That's the goal, is to celebrate great players and the history of the game, And so before then, we go into the actual list, the head-to-heads, which is where a lot of the spicy discussion is going to happen. We're going to go ahead and just make one quick last announcement here, which is... here it is. Just wanted to let everyone know that our next event next month is going to be another LAN event. It's going to be a smaller scale community meetup at the same LAN center in Fullerton, local host Fullerton. Sunday, April 24th, that evening. I invite everyone in the SoCal area to come down for a fun night of TF2, hang out, play some pugs, play some MGE, enjoy that 5-ping gameplay. I'll be running a stream there. So we'll also have, community features and all that kind of good stuff. So if you're in the area, definitely come down. Hopefully we'll have, just more events throughout the year. And we'll just kick it off with that. Just a simple $10 entry fee. Very chill type of environment compared to what we did last month with the super major competitive type thing. But yeah, these sorts of things I think are equally important to the top tier major events. So I definitely want to serve that side of the community as well. So come down for that. And now we're going to go ahead and jump into the head-to-head. So hope you guys have prepared. Be ready to yeah, so no one here knows who they're going head-to-head against. That's part of the fun for me, is trying to come up with interesting pairings and let you guys be surprised. And we'll do a little bit of debate and all that, but really we're just trying to highlight some key differences or get you guys to elaborate more on your list. So let me just set up a couple things. But yeah, you guys, first of all, any of you guys, Skis, you're probably the closest one. Any chance we'll see you at one of these types of community meetups someday?
Possibly. I don't know. I'm a pretty competitive guy. So like all these I don't know, it's like a 5-hour drive. Maybe someday. I don't know, maybe if there's one in Vegas, it'd be, much more local, but SoCal is quite the drive, especially with gas prices right now.
That is a fair point for sure. But yeah, I'd love to do events, all across the country. So if SoCal isn't convenient for you, then, I'm speaking to everyone out there. Keep your eyes open, because there may be events in your neck of the woods. So,
Do you want in Arizona?
ooh, yeah, maybe.
I go if the boys go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I should mention then. For the Fullerton meetup, Sandblast is actually going to be in town, so he'll be a special guest. So there will be some boys at the event.
Boy.
Yeah, Sandblast, in my
That's
opinion,
the boy.
was one of my favorite people to meet at the last LAN. So I'm really excited to have him attending. So me, Sandblast, who else will be there? We'll see. But I hope a lot of the people out there watching will attend in person. Okay, so it is time now for our head-to-head. Hopefully this is all gonna work. Give me 1 second while I do the scene transition. Boom. Boom. All right, there we are. This is going to be bot mode versus Patty. List.
I knew this was happening.
I knew
This
it.
is so
I knew it.
And
You knew
it
from
was
a
so-
mile away.
We had the opposite metrics too, which we were judging players by
Yeah,
in terms of priority.
So that definitely will make it very interesting. I don't know if you guys have the stream up that you can see the list, unless you want me to link you guys the spreadsheet. But I would, if possible, just like to get your guys' initial. Oh, my bad. I have Marbleu on the right. Let me just fix that. It's going to be Patty first. Patty. Where's Patty? There's Patty. Sorry about that. All right, Patty's up. Bot mode versus Patty. So take a glance at each other's lists. See if there's anything that stands out. Let me kick it off by highlighting something though.
You're gonna where Patty is on my list.
That is exactly right.
Yeah.
So Patty, bot mode ranks him number 40. Meanwhile, Patty, I mean, I did ask everyone to rank themselves. So Patty down at number 40. Meanwhile, on his own list, he was 26. So I'd say that's a wide margin between the two. And you, bot mode, definitely ranked Patty lower than most people did. So just curious, if you can justify Patty's position on the list. He's a world champion after all. So
Hey Patty, how many times have you beat Froyo?
ooh,
Never, but I haven't been on a team that has had that capacity besides Ascent for one season.
That's fairly true. That's fairly true.
okay.
There's a couple rosters you were on that could have gone the distance, I think, but there's also a couple that definitely couldn't have. I don't know. I think for me, this is obviously, like, looking at it, it's a little low for drama's sake. Like there's players above that obviously just have worse like resumes, right? But for me, I think like playing against Froyo when Patty is on it versus like a lot of the other Froyo players that are higher, right? I'd rather Patty be on Froyo, right? So he's kind of getting treated a bit unfairly because he's on a different metric, but I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think that's a good point that, like, since obviously, my team, Froyo Tech, we've definitely won more than any team. There is certainly something to be said about any team that does beat us,
Right.
It stands out. And Patty has been with us for a lot of the victories, but never quite overcame on the other side.
He's also never lost on Froyo, so
yeah, fair enough.
that's another good counterpoint.
Yeah, that was something that I mean, I kind of anticipated this, I'll be honest, so I'm not really surprised or like
No, this is
upset or anything. And
this
it's
is
kinda
not a
funny.
secret opinion of mine.
Yeah, but I think I mean, I don't fault you for thinking that at all, personally. Like, if that's what the things you value. I mean, I can see that I don't know. I consider myself most of the time, like when I was on Froyo, besides Rewind 1, I was essentially a role player. So if you're gonna use skill as a metric,
Yeah.
I feel like, sure, yeah, I probably wasn't in those positions to like just have a lot of crazy impact just because of, I think, the roles I naturally fell into. Because oftentimes I was like replacing Blaze, or sometimes
Yeah.
It's a good point. Okay. Well, I appreciate the respectful disagreement here. But I want to highlight a couple more that stood out to me that were a bit interesting. So let's go through here. So now I'm looking at Jay's placement. So bot mode puts Jay number 8, top 10 player. Patty puts Jay 24. So I'd be curious to hear, Patty, now your side here. Jay at 24, definitely an outlier compared to where a lot of other people rated him. So what makes you put Jay at number 24?
I think a lot of that just comes down to sort of the way I valued my metrics. Skill tended to be a tiebreaker for me in a lot of cases. I think Jay is a very skilled player, and I think he'll probably go on to win many, many, many more seasons with super good stats and super good results on a personal level. But I also just, like there's a lot of players with really like stunning resumes that are really skilled, and I don't know. I just didn't want to forget about a lot of the old heads, and I think Jay, obviously, he's now he's been dominant like more recently, so I think it just stems from me maybe valuing legacy more. But I don't think that Jay is, like, in terms of skill, if I were to rate purely on skill, it'd probably be closer. He'd probably be quite a bit higher if that was like one of the only metrics I was rating him by. But it came down to legacy for me.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. I got a couple more, Patty, that I'd like to ask you about. We'll try and go through them relatively quick.
Really cool.
So
You can like literally highlight the names, by the way.
Yeah, it is some nice technology here. So Patty, just real quick, TLR, you mentioned he was one of your big inspirations. You put him in top 10. He just barely missed the top 10 for most people here. But yeah, maybe talk a little bit more about TLR and kind of what makes him a top 10 player to you.
Well, I think the big thing was, I mean, if you just look at his resume at a glance, it's actually quite incredible. He actually has one of the nicest looking resumes of a lot of TF2 players. Not in terms of just like straight wins, but he pretty much was always at the top, and I think Mix-Up was a lot better when they had him on Pocket. Historically, as far as I remember, I could be wrong, but based on my research. But I also just think that as well, he made a return. We didn't end up winning that LAN, but I still think it was impressive nonetheless that he could come back and still, like, at least in NA, he was like pretty, he managed to hang after like such a huge hiatus.
Especially when the game had changed so much during his hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good point. I think that TLR comeback season in ESEA, especially, the I-58 roster, essentially, winning Invite that season to me was one of our biggest like underdog victories, I would say.
Is that 22?
Eric, was it 22? You usually know this stuff.
Yes, 22.
Yeah, it was
You
22.
guys beat Ronin.
Thank you, Eric.
I think
Yeah,
you
it
guys
was 22.
Lower bracket comeback, I remember,
Mhm.
something like that.
No, you guys
It was
almost
21.
choked it. You guys almost choked it. 22. That's when. Yeah.
20
Ronin,
was when,
Ronin came back, forced the second BO3, and then they choked on the last map because nursing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's that roster choked everything, so
That's facts. That's facts.
the only time they won, they had to play against not a full roster of players that got to second place. They had a sub. So
Okay. So I want to move us along. Don't want to dwell too long on each head-to-head here. Don't want to put you guys on the spot too long. One more that that caught my eye was the Sizer placement. So big discrepancy here. Bot mode included him 44. Patty puts him at 22. So Sizer, what is earning him 22 for you, Patty?
I just think historically he was a part of a lot of really good teams. I did actually get to play against him a little bit in Invite when I was on lower level teams. I thought he was overall a pretty good player, and I think he had good comms and stuff like that. But I just think his resume, I just think that he got a lot of wins and like top finishes against some of the goats of his era, and was alongside them. I don't think his stats were that bad either during that time period either. He had generally pretty good stats from what I recall. So I just think that if we're going to talk about, well, I think it's kind of actually this is really indicative. Sizer and Dummy on Bot Mode's list are actually neck and neck, and it's just about where we're valuing those old players basically. Because when I talk about Dummy, I think Sizer, I think Ruin, I think about like a whole bunch of players that come in my mind because they all played during that time period. And so I think Sizer deserves to be near those players. I just think the metric with which I was valuing that group of players was different.
Yeah, I think so too. Because I also, for Dummy and Sizer specifically, I don't have like knowledge of TF2 before like 2011 really. So, and that was a big part of their reign, I guess. But Sizer and Dummy are both like really good players, played for a really long time, always at the top. But to me, they were never like super high skill, right? So you're valuing their legacy, and I'm valuing their what I saw as their skill level, right? So
Yep.
Makes sense. But yeah, as I said, they're still on the list, so they're still great players. We can recognize it in different ways. Cool. So unless there's anything about each other's lists that you guys want to point out right now, I think we could move on. What do you guys think? Satisfied? Did you guys want to make any changes? Any points of contention here, or are we good?
I'm gonna talk about Podonsky.
Where did you put him?
33.
Oh, that's actually, yeah, that's a good point. So
I know Podonsky, I rate him higher or lower, I don't know, higher placing than average, I think.
Yeah. So for me, Badonsky, honestly, like a lot of my list came down to like I would think of one player and I'd think about another player, kind of like or a set of players that I sort of think about. And Duatna and Badonsky, I think were kind of like rivals for a time period, if I recall correctly. And I don't know, Badonsky's been around a long time. He actually played like a really long time. He like I got to play with him as well. I don't know, I just think he's a really skilled player, and I think I think he's really skilled. I think he's been around forever, and he was always like a second place player.
Yeah, I mean, his first season was season 14, I think, where he played scout, and then season 15 he got third playing demo, and then he got fourth playing demo. No, third season 15, and then he got fourth season 16, and then he got second.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I think he was really integral to that team's success. That's my belief.
Yeah.
I actually think without Badonsky, I think that team would not, that the team, whatever iteration of that team, I think they would have been a lot weaker for it.
Yeah, probably.
In my opinion. I think Badonsky Shrugger when I think about the success of that roster.
Yeah. My funny argument against Badonsky is always, well, if somebody else is playing demo on that roster, they have an opportunity to get better that they didn't have with Badonsky on it. But that's so like weird and backwards anyway. It doesn't really make sense. But for me, Badonsky was always like, playing against him was like super comfortable, a lot more than a lot of other demos I've played against in a weird way. Like Badonsky was always like, he was the one making them do well, but at the same time, you could always just make Badonsky not do well. So
yeah, makes sense. So
he was exploitable, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So then let me ask you this, Patty. You do have Duatna one place below Badonsky here.
Yes.
Duatna, of course, a two-time world champion compared to Badonsky. Do you stand by that, or do you want to reconsider?
It's really 50-50 for me. Honestly, like there are a lot of players that are right beside each other that I kind of would be like, maybe I'll put them above, maybe I'll put them below. I obviously think Duatna had the advantage of playing on Froyo, just like I had the advantage of playing on Froyo when I was like winning and stuff. I do think that two-time championship though is kind of a pretty strong metric to live by, but I don't know. I just felt like, and maybe this is the unfortunate circumstance of sort of the role that Duatna had to play on Froyo, I think, with Lansky on Pocket, because I recall playing against it, and I don't know. Maybe I'm incorrect because I never played with him. I can admit, but I do think that, I don't know. I think I stand by it. I'm not gonna. I don't know.
All
it's
right.
50-50 for me either way. To me, they're equally as skilled, but I think it's an intangible. I don't know.
Yep.
I played with Badonsky, basically.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Then we're gonna thank you guys for showing your lists and having the discussion. We're gonna move on to the next pairing, coming right up here. Give me 1 second to set that up.
Yo, why am I behind Reptile and Carnage, Patty?
Hey, yo, quickly, Badonsky. Hey, can I chime in too? I'll back up bot mode on Badonsky.
Yeah.
I think-
Can I spit facts? Can I spit facts?
Well, you'll
Yeah.
have your
Or should I
you'll
just
have
wait
your
for mine?
chance.
Should I just wait for mine?
Okay.
You can wait for yours,
Alright,
Eric.
alright,
But
bet,
let's
bet,
just
bet.
say you're not gonna have to wait long.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Shit.
Give me Habib. Give me
I
Habib.
knew it.
It's
I knew
it's
it.
Habib and Eric coming up.
Who could have seen it
That made
coming?
sense. Why would it not make sense? All right.
All right, Habib and
But
Eric.
Nike at 9? You're tripping, bro.
Demo
Yo,
bias.
Habib, let's go.
Demo
Let's get
bias.
it. Team
Demo
Donaldsky.
bias.
Habib.
Yo, what's
Habib's
up?
got my back.
Habib has your back. Well, Habib is the rarity. There were only 2 people that submitted lists that differed on place number 1. One of them was Ash,
Wait, he's number 1.
and Habib is the other one.
I respect the
So
hustle, dude.
Habib, first and foremost, why are you the number 1 TF2 player of all time, Habib? Let's hear it.
Oh man.
Let's fucking go.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. How many lands did Froyo Bani lose? Oh. How many lands did Froyo Habib lose? Oh.
0.
Habib is Michael
Habib,
Jordan.
You started demo. I had finished the job.
but I've won more lands than you've
I
not
took
even
the bar,
attended.
and I took the bar that you created and I pushed it even higher up. I'm the pinnacle.
Habib,
I'm
you're
the
lost
messiah.
without Banny. Just admit it.
True.
A headless chicken.
Habib's a
Nah,
turbo feeder
honestly,
without
nah,
Banny.
High key. Listen, I know I'm lacking the multi-class, but once Jay is ready, I will handle him, and I will give him the chakra, and I
Alright,
will be
let's do
free.
it.
I will unleash
Jay
upon.
Demo.
I will
Do it.
unleash my darkness upon this planet and destroy everything on Scout or Soldier.
Wow. Okay, Habib. I don't know. Now I'm tempted to have to like see you prove something.
You
You know?
should cut him. You should honestly cut him.
Maybe I should. Maybe
I'll
this
play
is.
demo. If you need
Maybe
a
you've
demo,
crossed a
I'm here.
line that's sacred, Habib.
Hey, demo's not that hard. Let's be real.
Fox, you watch all these demos on LAN?
Habib, give me. Why is Banaski at number 9?
Okay, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. All right, let's have this debate. Badonsky at number 9. Reason why? All right. First of all, longevity. This man has been playing for longer than us two. Not only that, he started off as a pocket scout. Okay, so he has the multi-class talent as well. That was his first season of Invite Scout. Actually, that was his first season. And then he played Demo Man. Not only that, but you have to keep in mind that while I would say Badonsky, I really like the way he played. He gave a different route, a different direction of Demo Man. You know what I mean? Or you know what I'm saying? He played that
The
low
feed
heel
demo?
demo, that
The
flank
feed
demo. That's what I'm saying. He had Randall pocket shotgun soldier. You know what I'm saying? Imagine having to play with low heels like that. The fact that he was able to do that well, several seasons, won a season of Invite, beat 7 at LAN. Come on now. Gotta give the man some respect. And he played. The reason why he's also this long or this high up on the list is just because he played for so long. And that's why.
You want to roast him for that, Eric?
That's crazy. Okay, first of all, when we played against Badonsky, it was low-key a buffet. Like, every time at mid, I'm running at this guy, he's getting picked first time on the mid, right? I do it again the next mid, a buffet. I'm just
King
beating
Def.
the shit out of him, bro. Like, he doesn't adjust. That's what I'm saying. And he doesn't really calm. So, like, the intangibles, like, I don't know. Like, maybe he's a vibe
Okay,
person,
That's
but,
a
like,
good point. That's a
he's
good
not your
point.
main
Yeah.
caller. He'll die and, like, not say anything for, like, 5 seconds. Stuff like that. He doesn't adjust. I don't know. Like, sure, he was the second best demo man, like, next to you, but, like, he was super easy to pick. Like, I remember times where, like, me and Blaze are going for a sack, and we're just like, hey, let's just go for Badonsky, because he's going to be caught out. Remember that? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. That's true.
Easy. It's just easy money when we play against him.
One of my
cap.
most.
Hey, Duwatna?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, back to whoever put Duwatna before Badonsky, that's just disrespectful.
Hey, listen.
That's
I only did that
disrespectful.
because
True.
I only did
I'm
that
a
because
defense Steve. I
Duwatna
had
stopped
Steve at
playing.
13. I
Duwatna
had
stopped
Steve at
playing.
13. He won SEMO LAN, GXL, I-52, I-55, season 17, 18, 19. Come on.
Well, at least you guys can agree that he's 13, but I feel like the relative placement of him to Badonsky is what's really upsetting to you, Eric.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. Also, you
Okay,
put
I'm
me.
not gonna lie.
You put me
Duanda
and
is
Shade
my
above
pass up.
Yomps.
I just, hey,
That's-
hey.
That's
Okay,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna say. Okay, listen, I'm gonna say that because first of all, pandemic Shade. Okay, Shade had the balls to create that ghetto Froyo tech.
You put
Shade.
Seagull at 43. You're trolling.
Okay,
Wait, are you
listen,
You put
listen. Overrated, high key,
Yo.
created an
trolling.
entire legion of baiting roamers. Enough. I don't want to hear it.
You're trolling.
My
You are
entire team's
trolling.
dead. Jumps
Wait,
and gets
you-
a 3K by
You
accident.
agreed with
Raised
Eric's
it
You
up
put
with no
Randall above
heals.
Shrugger. You put Randall above Shrugger. Why? 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 Shrugger deadass carried them.
Oh,
Shrugger and Yomps deadass carried them.
hey, yo.
Beef.
You put Yite above Ash, and you put.
Beef,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
agreed
yeah,
with
I'm
that.
done. I'm done.
Okay, yeah,
Where's
okay,
Squidder?
listen.
Where's Squid?
Where is Squid? I don't think Squid's on my list.
Where's? Did you put Aim? Oh, Aim's 41. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, what else? So you put Skis at 28. That's a little bit too high. Like Skis is my boy.
What?
But, like,
No, listen.
let's be
Intangibles.
Dude, Eric's just coming
let's
at
be
the
real.
Intangibles.
Let's be real.
Listen. Skis had a lot to offer. His Mechi's high key fell off. Now you're
Mech is
cap.
low-key sus.
I'm not even
His
cap.
mechanics-
happy to
He
be
tore
here.
his ACL. Leave
But
him alone.
intangibles does not put you at 28. I'm sorry.
Hey, listen. Skis had a lot to put on the table that wasn't his ability to hit arrows, hit surfs, not drop Uber, not catch
Why'd
random
you
pipes
put
across
Shade
the
at number
map.
6, bro? Why'd you put Shade at number 6? He plays
Why?
medic.
Because
He plays
okay,
medic.
Yeah, but that was the best medic. That was the best medic. What do you mean?
Let's realize though. I think for sure in the top 10, like each placement definitely matters. Like Shade is 6 on Habib's, 8 on Eric's. Is that really that big a difference? I think when you're in the top 10, it matters. Maybe in like 30s, 40s, whatever. There's some wiggle room there, but yeah, I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on like, for you, Habib, Shade over Yomps, for example. Can you speak on that one?
It's just legacy. Simple as that. Yomps is like he was a baby zoomer. Shade is an old grandpa. He's a dragon. He played since like I was born. That's why.
I see. For me personally, the difference here would have been multi-classing. Like, I mean, combat of course is harder than medic. Most people would agree, but for me, Yomps going from scout, the best scout, arguably at the time, to best pocket soldier, arguably at the time, is kind of legendary. So that would be the tiebreaker for me in that situation, but maybe you see it differently.
Yeah, that's crazy that you put me and Shade over Yomps. Cause like Yomps just had like this X factor.
That is
You know?
true. That is true. He had the Batman
But with like
factor.
Dante, he had like good vibes for the most part. Like every time he's trolling us, it's like
Oh,
low-key fun.
I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna bump him down a couple points
No,
just
no,
for
no.
trolling.
It's funny because
I'm not even gonna
he
lie.
like trolls the shit out of like Habib and Vanny, but like to us like other three, we're just like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's pretty funny, Like I enjoyed scrimming with Dante.
I always thought it was funny when Dante would purposefully heal Blaze more than me when I was playing Pocket.
Yeah.
He does that to his pockets.
Yeah,
Man. He
it's-
always goes after them. I was a
It's
victim
so
too.
funny.
I was a victim. Lancey was a victim. We're all victims of Shade.
It's so funny though.
All right. So let me give one more for you guys to debate, and then I'll give you a quick history lesson, perhaps. Ruin, this one's interesting. Eric's got him at 12, Habib 34. So let's hear you guys justify your position on this one.
I'll go first.
Eric,
Actually,
you
no,
go
Habib,
first.
you go first. You go first.
Me? Okay,
yeah.
bet. Okay. High key, I know how goated he was, and this guy, he was really good. Like, if you take a look at the legacy, the Mihai Flow, all the early teams from back then, like the Blight teams that he played on, this guy is a dinosaur of TF2. But I just don't like the fact that when he was at his, I would say, probably the apex of his career, I don't like the way he was trying to do too much. So I dropped him down a couple of lists. I think he was trying to do way too much on Pocket Scout. He was not. He was also like a little distracted, and I was really not a big fan of the way he ended his whole career. That's why I dropped him down. TBH. He kind of messed
That's
up his
fair.
own legacy. He messed up his own legacy.
That's a really good point, Habib. I've had similar experiences actually where I had someone higher on the list, and then I remember ways they handled certain losses or certain difficult situations, and it disappointed me, and I had to drop them down a couple. That's definitely an attitude, intangibility type thing, and yeah, I think I personally definitely respect players that go out on top. If they're gonna go out, might as well go out on top. And some people, they have their peak and then they just sort of fade. And I think Ruin kind of experienced that to some extent, which is disappointing because I honestly think he was sort of the definitive combo scout in those early seasons. Obviously world champion at I-46. A lot of it was off of his sort of innovation and raising the bar on combo scout. And I've sort of built upon that myself as a combo scout as well. So that's why I give him a lot of credit personally as an innovator in the combo scout department. Really kind of helped to distinguish that role. But yeah, it's interesting to hear your thoughts on it. I definitely see where you're coming from though, Habib, with the less than spectacular decline.
Yeah, it really rubbed me the wrong way, especially because it wasn't just like tarnishing your own legacy. It started off as a problem with the intangibles too. It started off with the intangibles, which then led to just frying your own self for no reason, which was completely unnecessary. But a comeback could always happen.
Yeah. And that'd be awesome. I mean, I hope every single player that we mention here, would be playing the game. But I do want to go back to the Siegel ranking. So I know you put him low. You think he's kind of baiting his team, but again, history lesson
Okay,
here.
I'm gonna be honest,
Siegel.
yeah, I might have been a little fried when I made this list, but
But when aren't you fried though, Habib?
good point.
Yeah, but Siegel, I'll just speak kind of history. Siegel, to me, was one of the most innovative soldiers. Definitely by the time you guys probably were most familiar with him, people had caught up. But in like the very early seasons, like the first couple seasons of ESEA, Siegel was playing sort of like a gunboat soldier, but with shotgun. It was very awesome to watch him play soldier. Just very aggressive, very creative. He would do rocket jumps I had never seen before and all that kind of stuff. So for me, definitely as like an innovator in terms of legacy, I would definitely give him credit. But obviously, yeah, people caught up and he maybe fell off as well, but definitely had a very high note towards the end of his career with the season 15 LAN victory. So a player that I respect for sure. He's on the list, but what you value about him may differ. So fair enough. Any other things you guys want to point out? Any other roasts? Any last second changes you guys want to make, or are we ready to move on? And does anyone from the rest of the panel want to chime in?
That's crazy that let me look. Cookie Jake should be above Low Guy. I-63 champion.
That is true.
Low key, he's low key the best medic I've ever seen. Like mechanically and just like survivability, he's goated.
That's why.
But he just
that's literally the only reason why.
That's why.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only reason. Simply due to the Mechie's diff. That's why I rated him higher. But if we're looking at everything else, Cookie Jake is definitely way higher than Low Guy.
Low key, Low Guy and Bransom shouldn't even be on this list because they just haven't played long enough, right?
Yeah,
I
would agree.
They're pretty freaking good.
Yeah, they're solid.
Yeah. That was
Especially
a battle for me.
us, when they beat us, Brad Sam came over and we had a Liddy celebration. A little bit too Liddy, maybe.
Well,
Babe, I like how you agreed on Eric's point that Bonotti's playstyle was feed, and that was the rationale for him being number 9.
Why do you think I asked Manny, can I feed? Can I jump? Permission to bomb? Habib, no! Stickies!
okay.
True.
Well, I think it's a good point that you guys make about, some of these players that are kind of at the top now. Brand Slam, for example. Obviously, he's been consistently at the top recently. And had a top 3 finish at LAN. So you know, for a lot of these players, it may just be the beginning of their rise up the list, you know, so give them time and maybe more achievements will come their way, right?
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
We've also had like one land since 2017,
Yeah.
excluding I-Series, so...
I played with Logai in that cup where we destroyed everyone. Yeah.
Oh,
His comps
the
are
draft cup.
really good.
Yeah,
Like
he
I
good.
was,
Yeah.
he was microing the shit out of Habib, and it was like,
It was good.
dead
I
ass.
liked it.
It was
I
giving me
liked
Banny
it. No, it
vibes.
was good. He kept me in check.
good.
I like that. Any player who can keep my power at bay.
Yeah,
That's
he
what I'm
dropped
saying.
like 3 times in the grand finals, like his first map. Didn't affect him, which is good.
Okay.
Like his mental is really good. Like he'll drop and then he'll like forget about it.
Okay. So I think there was only one more that was sort of maybe a bit of a discrepancy, which was right here. Psy guy. So Habib, you put Psy number 23. Eric has him down at 39, so a sizable gap. Is this a demo man bias, Habib?
Demo man bias. Second place, Rewind 2 beat the best European team. I guess they were a little scuffed. Won a season of Invite. Has been consistently top 4 for the past couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Can prove that he can multi-class for sure.
Okay.
Demo man, scouts, pocket soldier with a shotgun. He perhaps he might be lacking slightly on the intangibles, but I think legacy, in-game skill, I think it makes up for it.
Okay. Well, fair enough then. Unless anyone else has any last critiques of any of these lists on screen, we'll move on to the next pairing. Oh, actually, there's a request from the community. They want to hear Habib speak about number 42 on your list, Alec.
Number 42?
You put Alex
See?
on-
Dog
Alex,
legacy.
I'm sorry,
Dog
bro. I did not
legacy.
see this, but, like,
Listen.
you were definitely high as hell, bro. You made this list in probably 2 minutes. You did not think at all. What the fuck?
Do you guys think it's worse that Alec is
Listen.
on it or that Showstopper's on it?
Hey, whoa. These are your second place runner-ups of season 20 Invite, sir. Put some respect on their name.
Damn.
Dude, Alec he's got intangibles, but like he was like the definition of like a 160 DPM scout. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I think-
Oh my.
He does
Like
have
Alec
damage.
is cool and all, but not top 50. He's definitely like 50, 60, like 60, 70
Yeah.
around that
Hey,
area.
I was just
You're tripping. You're
I was
tripping, bro.
showing mercy. I was showing mercy, okay?
Habib was definitely fucking fried when he made this list.
Also, Rad is 50?
Yeah, that's
Yo,
wild.
Yeah, Brad
Yo,
is
Brad
wild,
was
man.
That's a I don't know, man. I don't know what I don't know. I was a little
Like, you had to think about number 50 to, like, fuck it, Brad.
I was
I
like,
feel like-
one invite, plays medic.
Multiple times. He
Dude,
won
I feel
on
like
the
Brad
three.
is like the
Oh,
most
Oh
underrated
yeah, he
player
did
of
win.
all time.
He did.
Hey, no
he did
cap.
win
My
multiple
list
times.
is nice. My list is nice. I bet the others disagree. The others agree.
Yeah?
The others agree. My list is low key nice.
Well, in comparison to Habib's,
well, that's a
it's
given,
like
that's a
insane.
given.
You can put
Hey,
anybody
Hey, we
in
have
this
some
list.
similarities. There's just
You're
a
not
couple.
lucky
There's
going
just
up against
there's
Habib.
there's just a couple of outliers, okay? It's
Couple.
okay.
Okay. That's one way to put it, Habib. All right, we're going to move on.
Campy? Bro, no Campy? You didn't put Campy on?
Where's Cappy?
No
Where's the demo man
Jeff.
bias?
No Jack.
Wait, maybe you
Where's the
don't
demo
have
bias?
demo man respect
No
after all.
Jeffrey.
No.
I don't think I'm Jeff.
I just saw 100 names honestly, and I just like got confused. It's too many, like I
The
was like,
dementia kicked back in.
yeah, like it kicked back in
I
immediately.
mean, it was hard. I will admit. Like I don't like this, but yeah, Habib, you're Fred.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, next pair coming up is going to be Jay and Marmaloo.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Come here, baby.
Oh, dude, I feel like my list is.
All right, your lists are
Cringe.
on display. Let's take a look, see if anything stands out here, guys. Please. Let me kick it off though with a question here. So it's been a a fairly consistent player that seems to be fairly controversial. I don't want to dwell on it too long since we talked about it a little bit, but it's Badonsky again. Jay's got him down at 39, Marmalou at 20. It's a big discrepancy between you two. So Jay, just real quick, Badonsky, is he a 39?
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
I just say it, buffet. Buffet.
No, absolutely. When I first joined Ascent, playing against that Bloyo, right? Is that correct? Yeah. Badonsky was a free pick as baby me. So, and I was just a soldier who probably just fed all the time.
I feel like if you played Pocket or Flank Scout versus Badonsky, you just you knew. I don't know how to explain it. Just those two classes just killed that player.
The thing is, when I was on good teams, I played with him. I experienced the buffet.
Can I
say, Patty?
I was experiencing him getting buffeted upon.
All right, let's Patty, what were you gonna chime in?
So I think it's really interesting about the free kill thing, and I really do wonder how much of that was sort of just his role on the team because of Rando. I genuinely believe that he was neglected with heals a lot throughout most of his career, and he had soldiers that generally were not self-sacrificing.
And 70 ping.
And yeah,
even on land, he was a buffet.
And so,
okay. well, I think
he did 420 DPM.
Oh,
and he was a buffet. It was so weird. He was he's the only player I've ever played against that they would do 420 DPM, and I'd just be like, okay, whatever.
Facts. He was only piping Habib. I swear to God, that's where the damage was coming.
that's demo div. That's demo div.
Demo div. But it was a buffet. All you can eat, $20.
Yeah, I don't know. But I just wanted to mention that.
All right,
just as an aside.
I think we've covered it enough then. So here's one that stood out to me. Free State only appearing on Marmalou's list, not on Jay's list. You're a flank scout now,
Felony.
Jay.
That's a felony, Jay.
You're a flank scout now, so no respect for those that came before. What's going on here, Jay?
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about him. But what I was told as well, Free State was more. He was a player that you could rely on when you were losing. Does that make sense? He was that one of those players who steps up. I gotta give him credit for that, but I feel like he should be already just straight up doing that ever since the start of the match. You know what I mean? You should play at your best all the fucking time. That's just how I feel. Also, when I watched him play, I wasn't really that impressed either, just from past lands and stuff like that. There was other players that stood out, I guess. Maybe he was just more of a role player and I didn't see that. But
kind of like the prototypical just annoying scout.
Dude, you put Alec on your list and not Free? What's up, dude?
Questionable.
Doug.
All right, Jay. I'll give you an opportunity to make a change here, Jay.
Make a change?
Yeah. Do you want to
stick with your guns?
I mean, he makes a good point. Does Free State belong on your list more than Alec?
Nope.
Wow.
I'm not gonna snub Alex.
Doug.
But you're gonna
Doug.
snub Free?
Not
Okay.
again.
Here, replace Showstopper
With Free State?
Yeah.
Okay, I can make that change for you. Just give me 1 second.
All right, thank you.
I'll let you guys talk about any other things that stand out. How about let's see. Someone pointed out in the chat, Artist. Artist, fairly new to Invite. Pretty quick rise here.
Goddamn.
25 for Jay. You can talk about that while I make your Showstopper Free State change.
So, it's obviously hard recency bias. To be honest, a lot of these older players, I really don't know any of them really, what they're so special besides a handful. So what mattered to me the most when coming to making the list was really how it was intangibles, skill, mental, right? And how annoying they can be in game.
I see. So artist very annoying. Is that what I'm taking?
Oh
away?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, if annoying is a stat, you'd be high on many people's lists, I'm sure.
Would I?
In terms of playstyle, I mean,
ruined soldier.
I guess.
You ruined soldiers.
I don't.
you ruined a
ruined
generation.
A
That's
whole
what they said.
generation are just brain dead now. They just jump at you with a shovel. Look what you've done.
Speaking of generations, one thing I want to point out here, Mackie, pretty high on your list, Marmalou, 39. I think you rated him highest compared to anyone that submitted. You're a roamer, obviously. Mackie, one of the grandfathers of roaming soldier. Maybe you can talk a little bit about Mackie.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't even realize I had him on my list. I kind of
What?
you made me speed run the last 30 people. So if there's people missing from the last ones, there are people there. That's probably why. Mackie won invite. He played engineer in Maine. That's pretty funny. I didn't watch. I don't remember anything from Mackie besides that. I didn't really watch TF2 at that point. But.
Well, then let me interject then with the history lesson for everyone here.
No.
So Mackie, obviously one of my earliest teammates. I played with him on EMG, and the teams that came after that. Mackie was the original wild card. He basically invented the idea of sacking because it was sort of an accidental invention because he just wanted to go die and just he would get bored.
Really liked dying.
Yeah, but Tyrone was such good friends with him that he wouldn't tell him to stop. So with that freedom, Mackie just really pushed the envelope.
He's the first one to feed just relentlessly.
Yeah, but not only that, but he also introduced a lot of off-classing. He would go sniper, spy, NG, etc. Sometimes we wouldn't even know what class he was about to spawn on. So I think he sort of established that as an effective strategy because obviously our team worked well around it, that people started to recognize that maybe this wild card aspect of a player there's something to it, maybe there's some value to that. And I think that while, most roamers nowadays aren't off-classing every life, you'll see a lot more roamer off-classing than you would otherwise. And it even, sort of transfers over to like scout off-classing and just the role of off-classing in general, offensively, not only defensively. I think a lot of it, Mackie sort of was the first to experiment with that and set the standard. So I definitely have to give him credit there. And I know a lot of you guys might not realize it, but you are, just standing on the shoulders of a giant who is Mackie. So, just glad to see him on lists. I think he was overlooked a few times. But yeah.
On the subject of off-classing, I think Mackie was like one of the first like NA players I can think of that was like had like actually good off-class timings and like decisions. It was Mackie was almost like better when he wasn't playing soldier because he really would just like feed, and his mechanics were not great on that class. But I think he was like the first feeder in a way. I think the only other person you could really like claim that was feeding was probably like Harblue. So
yeah, they were contemporaries, and I think they often tried to one up each other in that regard.
Yeah.
A little history fact for you guys. So nowadays, everyone knows the terminology of sacking, sacrifice, go in and die so your team can either make a play or bait the enemy team into making a mistake. Mackie was ahead of the curve. He actually coined the term reverse pick. That's what he called it originally. It's yeah.
So
bring it back.
That was the original terminology before sacking was common. He would call it the reverse pick. So basically, you think you're getting a pick, but in reality, you're playing right into his hands. So yeah. So unless anything else stands out to you guys, any other players you want to highlight or any disagreements you may have, let's hear it.
I forgot skis.
Understandable.
Where would you put him?
Understandable.
Where would you put him? Give me a number, Jay.
Replace ski. Wait, where's my? Okay, replace skis with Dingo. There you go.
Dingo.
45?
45.
All right. Let me make you an alternate proposal. You have Cozen at 33. Do you think skis might be?
Yeah, replace him.
Yeah?
Yeah, replace
That's pure pressure.
Do we want to talk about
No.
Kozin at all?
Kozen is just a mysterious figure everyone says is godlike, and I've just
That's the
kind of
ultimate eye
accepted
test.
this fact.
Kozin is just on like
That's the
good
all-time eye
medic status.
test.
That's for me. That's
Kozin is
it.
like Kozin is peak versus longevity right there. No longevity, like amazing peak.
Yeah. So what's it going to be, Jay? Is it Kozin or is it Dingo who's going to get replaced by Skis?
I'll take off Kozin.
Okay.
Honestly.
You want to replace Dingo with Ski or Kozen then?
No,
You're
no.
leaving Dingo.
Keep Dingo. I like Dingo.
I like Dingo too.
Yeah.
Cool dude. Cool
It
player.
is.
I'm curious about the discrepancy between myself on your guys' lists.
Put him 44.
19 of 44?
More than Bob
Jay.
Oh, Jay.
Bob
Our
is
Guru.
notorious for this, and you put him
Okay,
below
I'm not gonna
Bob.
lie.
This is what I
Okay.
call the bot mode pill, by the way.
Jay is
Played with
Bob
bot
Pill.
mode for too long. You've
Dude,
taken
I
his
should
pill.
have made edits
Patty Bill.
closer to this.
Well, this is your last chance. We can do
Alright,
it.
then
We can do it
put-
live. Where's Patty going to go? Is he going to swap with someone or is someone getting... Yeah, what's going to happen here?
Replace Patty with Seagull.
Like swap?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna switch.
Swap them?
I'm gonna switch. Yes.
That's a big upgrade, Patty. Number 19.
What?
You put in Seagull at 44?
What the heck?
That's Habib
Dude.
energy.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
wanna
similar to
bump Patty
Habib's.
up and move everyone else down?
What the?
These swaps are
Hey,
crazy.
Manny, go back
This
to
is
my list.
chaos.
I'm gonna put Mangachu. Number 30.
What?
Hey. All right. For seriousness, I definitely do think I rated the WG people, Brand Slam Artist Low Guy, very, very high. So
Yeah,
I
did
think I would
24.
replace those three with I don't know, let's go with in order, right? Patty, Alpha Psi.
Patty
Oh, wow,
Alpha
you put
Psi?
Alpha 45.
Oh no, Patty Free State Psi, my bad. Actually.
Okay, can you repeat the change that you're requesting? I want to see if
So,
we can make that
Get
happen.
rid of 24, 25, 26, replaced by with Patty, Free State, Psi.
Um. Okay, I'll handle that. So you wanted to switch your Brand Slam Artist Lull guy with Patty Free State Psi. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can make that happen. Then any other discrepancies while I work on updating this one?
Jay
Mom,
has
you didn't put
flat.
aim? Mom, you didn't put aim?
I'm telling you, I
Damn.
made this in like 20 minutes.
I kind of rushed mine too. I'm not gonna lie. There wasn't a lot of thought into it.
Jay has plaid at 18, which I think is the lowest I've seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jay is a zoomer. I'll give him a pass.
Jay's
Yeah,
no,
I am a
Mike is-
zoomer.
Yeah,
Jay's
fair-
I don't know.
fair
I don't know
point.
how
Zoomer.
really good Platinum was as a soldier, as a demo. Like I don't know.
Dude. Never mind.
Never mind.
Platinum.
Oh, Eric.
Platinum versus Banny, bro.
Yeah, well
That
that's
doesn't ring a bell.
a legendary narrative for sure. Platinum, I mean, again, for history lesson, I was rivals with Platinum all the way back in ESA Season 5. We were in the Open Grand Finals against each other, and that rivalry continued for many, many seasons until Season 18 of ESEA, and, you know, across I-52 as well, I-46, you know, all that kind of stuff. Platinum was sort of my... my nemesis in terms of being a team leader. He was originally a soldier and then he switched to being a demo man, so he was like directly trying to oppose me because I used to be a demo man, of course. And just in terms of like lands and results, he was consistently number 1 or number 2 for many, many years, and he's been to so many lands. So that's Platinum.
What about this fake humble J narrative I'm seeing?
What fake humble? You're
Third
talking
team.
about?
Those were legendary times. I ain't gonna lie. You versus Platinum were legendary times.
Yeah.
That
Jay, I
narrative
don't
is
even
what
think
made
Jay
me
13
love
is that
TF2.
crazy.
I say 13 is good for Jay. 6 is a little bit. Hey, Marm, come on.
Um,
That's a
I
little
was
bit
about to
too
say,
high.
like, I don't think I'm a top 10 player whatsoever.
Excuse me, Eric. Did you invent the spoon? Did you?
No,
Did you?
no, I
give
see
it-
it.
I'll give
TF2
you 2 more
and
years before you're
code
top
the
10.
market
I'll give you 2
gardener?
more years.
Eric invented content.
I don't
That's
really.
true. Eric
invented
did invent
swag on Flank
content.
Scout, bro. You know
Nobody
me,
had
right?
done
I
content.
invented Bush.
No,
Eric
I
actually
invented
Flank Scout
invented
is
Backdrops.
influenced. No, it has a lot of influence by you, Eric.
To be
So
real, I don't care that much about longevity at a point. My top whatever was dominance. And Jay, I think, has been the most dominant pocket and the most dominant flank scout by far
I'll say this.
in the past
I'll say
few
Jay
seasons.
is the most mechanically gifted person I've ever seen play TF2. Like he can, like his scout is nutty, his pocket nutty. Like he can do anything.
Mhm.
But you just haven't played long enough. That's why I.
That's why I don't.
Yeah, I'm with Eric
I
on
put
that. yeah.
longevity to get on the list, but like longevity's kind of a tiebreaker. I don't know. Like I kind of think dominance. Like Jay is very dominant. Like
Did you
he
play
can
against-
take over a game.
You play against
single-handedly.
Jay's demo man in a pug, right? And you're
Okay,
like,
he feeds.
I-
He feeds. He plays
No,
flashbang demo.
I
He
did
jumps
sometimes-
in.
I
Flashbang demo.
Dude, when he's
Flashbang.
like he's playing real demo, you're like, I freaking hate this guy. He can do this too. Like he could play sniper, he could play spy too. His engineer is like,
Dude, his
I mean,
sniper.
and
Jay,
here's
Jay
a
has
funny
that
enough.
je ne sais
Jay's a
quoi.
funny class.
Jay's probably the
but-
number one sniper ever. That's-
Okay,
yeah.
so why
Yeah,
can't
Jay
you say?
Sniper,
Why
I think,
can't
is
be
really
six?
good.
All I'm hearing is good.
He's high on my list.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
I
I love
don't
you
know,
guys.
I don't respect the J over Eric just because Eric won 13 times or whatever, but 14 times I don't. A lot.
I'll put Jay at number 6 in 2 years. Come back to me.
If Jay wins,
Yeah.
2 more lands, you know.
Well, if Jay keeps playing,
Which-
he will win
which-
2 more lands.
Which you
That-
will.
yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
probably.
That's the plan, isn't it?
Jay,
Okay.
Jay is also, I think in the last 2 years, Jay hasn't lost anything
Jay beat my ass.
at top level.
Beat us.
Actually, he lost. Actually, him and you lost to me and Habib and Logai and Soapy and High Five. And
Yeah.
no big deal. Hey,
Dude, you
I
guys
came
got-
back out of retirement just to farm $100. Oh,
And
All right, if you, want
Eric.
to say, if you want to say that's a real tournament, I will also say that you guys got like hard floated by like where Habib was in the draft and the fact that Habib was playing demo because
disagree.
everyone
Habib's not
else
that
had to
good.
play.
Disagree.
Everyone
Habib's
else
not
had to
that
pick
good. He's
demos
washed
the
up.
first round,
Fox.
and you
I'm
didn't have to
not
pick a demo,
washed
so you
up.
guys
I am
got
back.
2 first picks.
I am back,
Habib
Eric.
I don't know.
would've
I
won
think
if
if I
Habib
showed
was out,
up,
no
me and
cap. If
Bambi's
I played
team
demo,
would
we
have
would've
won.
won.
So definitely would have won.
Hey.
And Patty played. I don't know. Would have been.
Hey,
a
we also
faster-
had
Would've
2
been a
people on
faster
our
victory.
team that didn't play invite, so
Hey,
Blame your captain
Donovan
for that
had
one.
that X factor.
that's true, Jay. That is actually Jay's fault.
What? Oh, no,
We got 2
Picking
non-invite
open
players.
players.
All right.
His
Well,
boys.
so with by process of elimination, I'm sure you guys can
Oh boy.
guess what the final pairing here is going to be. Let me get that set up now.
Oh,
Ski,
Clash of
I need you to
Titans.
roast
Oh my
Danny on
God.
his list.
We lost. Banny's list is just gonna be people from the 1980s.
Yeah. This is
1980s.
gonna be in the black and white flavor.
Number
You can't- there's
three.
no
The
colors
black
on the
and white
TV.
era.
Oh,
Manny got
yeah.
Michael
Michael
Jordan.
Jordan.
Top 10, bro.
Wilt
Got
number
Michael
1. Let's go, baby.
All right, here we are. The lists are on display. I know a few of mine that might disturb some people. I'll just throw one out right now. I think some of you guys might be upset at Slemnish24 on mine. But otherwise, I think I have the definitive, list. What do you guys think?
You're you. Well, you're gonna put yourself as a definitive
What?
list.
Yeah,
this
dude,
is
like-
messed up on your stream with your viewers. This is
Karen defends Slemness
Sure.
24 at all? Can you...
Yes, absolutely. So, in my criteria, there's definitely a certain hierarchy of a value of certain, characteristics, criteria. For me, I definitely value leadership very high. I definitely value results very high, and I definitely value multi-classing, things like that. So, for example, on my list, I have bot mode 22, Slemnish 24. For me, bot mode's, just a better multi-classer. Demo, Soldier, etc. Then you got players above him. Siegel, Legacy. He's just... He was an innovator. Mela, leadership. Patty, leadership. YZ50, legacy. Badonsky. I think Badonsky and Slemnish are very similar in terms of accomplishments. Slemnish, I think, according to Marmalou, was like the most second place player of all time for a while.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Podolsky and it's not even close.
But
No, it's some.
he's like 10 more second places if you include lands, I think.
Hey, Banny, I just want to point out, I don't think that's my list. Or at least it's
You
not
sure?
updated. That's not the one I sent in, that's for sure.
when did you update it?
Last time I
Sad,
updated
sad,
it was when I
sad.
sent it into you.
That's
Saturday night or whatever, Friday night.
Like weeks and weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Skis.
whose list is this?
There may be a technical difficulty,
It
but
might be mine, but I don't know. It
I-
kind of looks like mine, but I don't think
This
it's
might
fully
be
updated.
mine.
No.
No.
No, I
Whoever
changed
list
it a
this
bit.
is, I don't exist on it. I
oh
don't
wait,
think.
that actually might be Marmalous because it has May and Mirrorman. Did you?
I put Dingo
Um,
50 and I had
let's,
Artist there.
Yeah, I didn't have
I think this
Decimate
was
on mine.
mine at one point.
Okay, let's review this real quick then.
I'm pretty sure at some point this was my super rough draft.
Someone's getting fired. Who messed this up?
Producer.
Yeah,
messed
Mackey's,
up Skis'
Mackey's
list?
39.
Who messed up Skis'
Oh
list?
getting
yeah,
slandered.
Mackie is 39.
Skis, just defend this list anyways, dude.
Wait, so wait. Can we? If this is Marmalous, if this is Marmalous, Marmalou consciously was Marmalou the one that had Jay over?
This is
no.
a ghost list.
Who had Jay over Eric?
I did.
Yeah. So you consciously moved him up over Eric.
Yeah.
Is
Whatever.
this actually Marms or is this like because you
That's
said
an
you had
old
guests,
one. No, that's an
right?
old one.
I'm actually not sure. It might be. It might have been
This
misplaced.
looks like a version of mine.
You didn't include me in your rough draft. The fuck?
Okay, we're gonna see if we can update that one. I
Is
guess
this
I'll
mine?
I'll just maybe talk about mine a little bit then.
It's rigged.
It's not.
What were some of the hardest ones for me? Okay,
Why is Mezer here?
Mezer.
Ooh, Mezer.
The black and white era.
Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna get someone to work on getting yours. Mezer. Yeah, that's definitely a controversial one, perhaps. Definitely underrepresented, but he was one of the best scouts in the game, in my opinion, in the very early days. And then he became a medic main and was a big innovator with the crossbow. Actually, his mechanics were very solid, but again, multi-classing and then sort of pioneering in terms of the meta with the usage of the crossbow, I think really stood out. And he did play on Mix Up, which obviously was a top team. So that's why I give him respect. But
I'm
yeah,
a
any
Mezer.
other-
I'm a Mezer fan.
yeah. I'm glad some people recognize him.
Yeah.
Boomer.
I'm old enough
He's like
to remember.
He's like the first. He's like the only medic at top level invite using the crossbow before it got buffed. Even
I think maybe the
Benny.
Fragile was using it as well, but
Maybe,
Mezer
yeah.
definitely did more effect.
Benny. Why Mela over Shrugger?
So that tiebreak would probably
Mm.
be for me a leadership thing. Shrugger definitely a solid player and one of the best mechanical scouts in the game. But for me, Mela, just being a leader of a team, I got to give him respect for that. And Ascent was, the second rival after Mix Up. So that's why I'd put Mela up there. And in terms of accomplishments, I mean his victories were very good. Shrugger, of course, though, definitely the only player until Ash very recently to have one invite with my team and then to do it without me. So there's very few players.
404?
404
Other way
wasn't
around.
on the team yet until after he had won already. So he won on our team after his victory with Ascent.
Oh, I see. You mean that way? Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
Ascent Shrugger was fucking disgusting. When he played
Yeah,
on
Ascent
Ascent for
Shrugger
that
was
period,
crazy.
he
Johnson
was
Shrugger
so
were
good.
scary, man.
Yeah, they were.
As a soldier, oh,
That was my
bro.
welcome
I
to
thought you
invite.
put Lansky higher, Benny.
Lansky, that's a tough one. Lansky,
Yeah.
obviously, I respect a lot. He's probably my favorite teammate, that I'm not currently playing with, that I ever had. He was like a brother to me in some ways. He was a breath of fresh air after, I stopped playing with Tyrone, because we just saw eye to eye. He was a great leader, very wise man, innovated in terms of, the gunboat's pocket. His primary stat was heals received. He always tried to minimize his heals received while maximizing his damage output. I always found that very fascinating, that was how he saw his role. But I mean, who? I mean, are you saying he should be above you, Eric? Is that what you're saying?
I put him above me.
Well,
Oh wow.
Eric, I think for you, I think you actually do have longer longevity than Lansky. I think
I
that
have
you
more
have
swag too, yeah.
more victories, and just I think longevity is what gives you the slight upper hand there. But it's
That's
so
swag,
close. I
that's
mean,
swag.
I
Yeah.
love you guys both very much. You're
And you
great
have
great
criminal
teammates. all that.
goatism.
Yeah, I mean that's also true. So, yeah, I don't know. Any others? Oh yeah, we're getting Skis' list on there, by the way, at the moment. So maybe we can start analyzing that as well. Sorry about that confusion. It should be accurate now. Does it look right, Skis?
I have no clue.
Did you put it on sheets? Like, go
Yes.
find it. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let's get a little bit of analysis on Skis' list here. Anything
boy.
standing out here? Jay very high on your list as well. I mean, I have Jay top 10. You have him at 7. Jay over Lansky and Platinum. Can you justify that one for me, Skis?
I think Eric said it too, but Jay's probably the best mechanical player ever on I think inarguably on Scout and Soldier, and this is my take, but I think he's the best sniper ever, like by far. And there's been some insane snipers, and I think that should prove a point how confident I am in saying that Jay's the best sniper ever.
Yeah, Jay's sniping is insane. I'll definitely give him credit for that.
Yeah.
It has consistency and peak on sniper, which
Jay,
is
no,
like
Jay actually frag clips every time.
Yeah, the
so
sniper is
annoying.
ridiculous. Skis, that's a good point you make. That you make. Like, it's just like the consistency. Like, something always happens.
Oh, dude, Jay sniper's insane.
It's
And-
something always happens.
and, like if you think about it, his sniper's just like the cherry on top compared to his Scout and Soldier.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, fair. All right. Well, unless you guys have any other questions, I know, or any other points of contention, we can maybe reveal the compiled list from everybody. What do you guys think?
Is it everybody that submitted one, or just everyone here?
It is
Wait,
a
Benny.
compilation. Yeah, let's hear it.
Where's Marmalou on your list? Oh, he's 32.
Marmalou.
Okay.
Marmalou
Never mind, I
for
just
me,
couldn't
yeah,
find him.
32.
That's snubbed.
Oh my.
I mean,
He
I'm
doesn't have the
hoping.
longevity.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you'll stick around on the team, Marmalou, and gain some more accomplishments.
Now
You'll-
you told me you gotta end up on top. I feel like I'm up there right now.
Marmalou.
I may have to close it out.
Oh, is every season or every top team this season gonna make some roster changes before playoffs? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm out of there.
Nah.
Jimmy,
There may be
Steve,
higher
let's
peaks.
What's
Super
up, bro?
team next season.
I'm down.
Mm.
I'll run it back only for Eric.
Yeah.
Run
You
it
mean
back
run
only
it back?
for
There's
Eric.
something to
Run
run
it back.
back.
Eric is gonna.
We'll
pace
run it
you.
back.
I support this. I mean, next season's a land season too, so.
Hey, Habib, you win?
You, me, single.
Wait. Wait a
Eric,
second. Wait a second.
Just take everyone in this call except
Jay,
Danny
you in?
and Marmalou.
Marmalou,
So
you
Jay-
in?
Jay-
I'll
Jay,
take
you in?
Habib,
I'll
Jay,
play.
I'll take Marmalou, I'll take Mira and Nay. Actually,
Just
No,
destroy
take
the
me, take
Froyo
me.
roster.
Banny rebuild.
hey, Vanny needs to go rebuild mode.
Mhm. Get those picks.
Sing Karma can be your new demo. I'll take Habib.
Ooh.
Prophecy.
I'll let him prove himself on another team first. Show up to
Damn.
LAN. Okay, but actually, before we get to the compiled list, maybe we can showcase some from the community.
Rockets list. Rockets.
Yeah.
We
list.
can reveal the Rocket King list. I do have it, in fact.
I've heard the Carter list is spicy as well.
I heard Carter put himself one.
Okay,
for me.
so yes, he did indeed.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's a lot of information, but this is kind of the data set that we were using to compile this list. A lot of people submitted, including Cadis from Europe, given the perspective from across the pond. Actually, why don't I pull it back to the panel so we can all weigh in on this?
Big
I like these
lead.
lists.
Dude, it's so hard to look at all this.
The Ash
Yeah.
is so funny.
Wait, you did the same thing.
All from the heart.
Exactly. You know why I did it? Because Ash told me we were gonna do it.
Yeah, so I mean, Rocket, I had to give him a chance because he famously memorized the old top 100 list.
Yeah. I
So
recall.
he's he's got a shout out on here. He submitted a list.
Carter put himself one.
Yeah, Carter number 1. So him and Habib were the only people that disagreed on the number 1 spot. You know, fair enough.
Rocket put Jay behind Laz.
That's
Oh,
fair.
Jared, I see you.
No, it's
I'll fix that
not.
for you.
Jimmy list hits
No, it's
different.
not. Laz is godlike,
There you
but
go.
no.
Jimmy
Hey, I'm looking
quit.
at
Jimmy
Jared's.
quit.
Hey, Jared
Jimmy
put
quit.
me and Yomps a little bit too
Okay,
low.
Jarrett, I
Wow.
will give credit to Jarrett. Jarrett did some of the most research I had ever seen from someone. He literally counted up how many lands everyone went to, exactly which placement they got, and all that kind of stuff. So he put in some work here. I definitely will respect some of his opinions, but it would be cool to maybe hear him justify them. I think that him valuing lands definitely gave some of the boomers a little more of a edge, you know, because there was just
Oh my-
ESEA lands back then.
CC's number 9 on Carter's.
Wait.
Well, let's pull this one out. Zilly.
ZC's been around for
Yeah,
so
number 9.
long.
That's
And
pretty
played
impressive.
So few seasons.
Yeah, he's always there. Never plays.
Zilly having a Doug evolution? Is he just ZC now? Like he's
Mhm.
not his
There's
original
an
A list?
Basically.
Oh shit.
Zilly Chang.
Yeah, so we got a lot of lists
You got
on
a
here.
Lansky list?
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
let me look over the Lansky list. Yeah, he was very gracious enough to submit
What's the
one.
newest player he put on his list? I'm curious. Does he even watch anymore?
He shows up in stream chat
Does he?
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got the Lansky list on here. Let's see what stands out.
Is it Laz the newest?
You put me before Slam?
Yeah, of course.
I'm
he's-
changing my
I-
list.
I
I'm putting
think-
Lansky number 14 now.
I-
You put me 14?
True. That.
I'm changing my list.
I'm honored. Lansky put respect on my name. I'm honored.
Yeah, 19, definitely respect. He's got the Ash, Laz, Patty. You know that representation is there. He's definitely got some, rarer names. He's got Tag, obviously.
He's
who's
got
a
Moose on
great
there.
Wait, I'm not
teammate.
even on the list.
Great. No, you are. Let me scroll down a
Put
little more.
Wonderwall. At 43, what list is
Wonderwall.
that?
You're down there, Marmalou. 49.
What the fuck?
Don't.
Like I said before,
Who put
everyone.
Solid Snake at 50? Let's go.
Hey,
So wait,
That's the
There's
mustard
one
overlord.
list.
Josh?
Mustard
Don't
has a
put-
boomer
they
ass
put-
list.
May.
Yeah, there's definitely some outliers. So I believe there were 29 players that appeared on every single list for every single person.
Wow.
And then
Do
there
you have that
was
list?
I can try and find that actually. Let me read it to you.
Do you have
May
a
got
list
that
of
medic bias.
players that appear like once or twice on people's lists as well?
Yes, I do have that. I mean,
Ooh,
okay,
that's
this
cool. Love
this
that.
might be kind of too much information, but I'll show
It's
you
gonna
what
be.
our matrix looks like.
Matrix.
The
Oh,
Matrix.
wait, hold on.
Benny's Matrix.
Hold on.
The Matrix.
What the
I like
shit?
Slemnish's list.
Actually,
Yeah.
hold on. It's
think
it's
it's
being
looking
I think it's
nice.
being adjusted at the moment. So let me get back to you on that one.
Okay. You like Slem's list, Eric?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
List.
I think I should be
The
Ooh,
Slemnish
look at all the
list.
scout float on Slem's list. Look at the scout float.
Mm.
Yeah, so potentially, I mean, there's a lot to dive into here. It's kind of hard to see it from a glance. Maybe we can publish some of these at a later date so you can really compare every list. But yeah, there's definitely some interesting ones in here. May was saying that he thought his list was particularly wild card. So let's see if anything in here stands out.
Shade number 2.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
pretty-
that's some medic bias right there.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
medic hard medic bias.
Let's scroll
I
over a
mean,
little bit.
Shader's
respect it,
probably
I
his
respect it.
meta hero, you know?
I respect
Gotta put
it.
him high.
Yeah,
There's more.
Oh my.
yeah. There's a few more.
Oh, we got
Yeah, I
the
think
Zilly
that's-
list.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
it's-
Zilly list.
You guys want to see the Zilly list?
Zilly is known to have
Where's
opinions.
ZC
Hey, I
on
want
his
to
list?
know something about Zilly. He almost snubbed Purple Shirt.
Where's Zilly on this list?
He's
He
got him on
almost
there
snubbed him,
now.
but he's at 23.
Yeah. Maybe he forgot him in an
where's
earlier
Zilly?
version. Where does he
Where's
rank
Zilly on
himself?
Zilly?
The first list he forgot.
He put himself at 50. fake humble, huh?
That's actually
Fake
fake humble.
humble.
That's actually
Fake
humble
humble.
ZC.
I'm on this list somewhere, but you don't know.
Are you?
Really?
Where are you?
I'm saying for Zilly, you know.
Yeah.
Fake
Oh.
humble.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I'm curious about the 50s. Let me scroll down and just see what the 50s were.
right, Ben, I'm just letting you know the clock is ticking.
Yes, I am well aware. So I know you got to go soon. So we're hopefully going to be able to move along to the final compiled list here. I did want to show you guys, though, if I could, that data set, though. One sec. Let's see. Players.
I'm looking at a list that has Showstopper over Sizer and Ruin.
Where's that?
I wonder who that is.
Second from the left.
Mustard?
Wait, Triple I.
Maybe
Who's
it is
Triple I on the
Mustard.
list?
There's a Triplets?
Yeah, Triple
There's
I.
no
No,
way.
Trip's on 42 on one of the lists.
Mickey
Wait,
Mouse
Reed is
list.
seeing this.
Who put Triple on
Oh,
it?
very second from the right,
Second from the
42.
yeah. Scroll up, scroll up.
Okay, let me do that.
Scroll.
Alpha? I feel like that's Alpha.
You're trying to see which list was it?
40, just keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Just up. Up. It's the second to the right. It is Alpha, okay.
Alpha list.
Ah.
Respecting a teammate, for sure.
And the one on the
Makes
left
sense.
was May.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Aaron, get rolled, dude. I'm number
Where?
5 on Laz's list, above you.
That's whatever.
Ooh,
That's whatever.
beast.
Hey, that's soldier bias.
Ah.
All right, I might have to get you guys.
Pretty unique.
Yeah. So like I said, we can publish that later, and maybe I can get you that info about which players were on every list and all that kind of stuff. But why don't we pull up the compiled list and see how that's looking, and if we want to make any tweaks, we can. But otherwise, since you guys didn't really want to make too many changes, it might just be the list. So a little bit of a moment of suspense while I get this set up. And boom. All right. That should be the top 50 list. Let's take a look at it. This is compiled from all of our panelists here, as well as all of the people that submitted, with over 20 lists. This is what we have arrived at. So let's just take a quick look. Top 10. Do we agree with the top 10? Do we have any major changes we want to make?
Yeah, switch you and Habib.
I mean, this is just from the data here, so I mean, the data speaks.
I think this is almost my exact top 10 list, except I think I have J, 8, and Lansky and Platt knocked down 1 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely top 10 players right there. I mean, in a lot of ways, that's how I think about the list, is like top 10, then top 20, top 30, top 40, top 50, like separate columns of 10 like this, I think make a lot of sense. And I really can't dispute really any of these top 10 right now. What do you guys think?
I don't know, the list, like obviously the grouping of 10 is fine, but if like, I'm assuming the critiques people would have with the list are just like one player swaps, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I had Yomps above Clockwork just because, you know, like when you think of Clockwork Scout, it's like, wow, he's the greatest scout ever, but Yomps was on that level, Slemish was on that level, Jay was on that level. Like Clock was the first to do it, but Yomps was on that level and he played Soldier, so.
And off class as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. All right. I'm glad we're seeing a lot of respect for the world champions, like Garbuglio's on there, Cookie Jake.
Mm-hmm.
Love to see that. And
winning international lands is hard.
Very.
Yeah, for sure.
Very, very hard.
And we
Jet
even have
lag.
some respect for some of the up and coming players. So we got the Lol Guy, Brand Slam artist. They made the final top 50 here, so that's impressive. I'm glad to see Tyrone on there for sure, making it to 50. I was worried he wouldn't make it, but shout out to Tyrone. He basically created me, so that's his legacy in its own, So Carnage, Reptile, they're on there. I mean, this is a great blend of the old school with the legacy and the new school, the people who are still playing at the top of their game and still competing to this day. So I mean, I think I'm pretty happy with what we have on screen right now. Any other placements here stand out to you guys?
Wait, is Kyle in chat?
High
Force
five.
is higher than him. Give fuck Kyle.
Oh.
Skis is higher than them both.
To be fair,
Bubble.
High Five is a fucking lanimal. Every single
Yeah,
LAN
he
house
is.
ever.
Yes,
Kyle
he
is a
he is.
lanimal. Course has only been to one LAN, and like he played mid at it, but
Yeah,
High-Five is a
more
lanimal.
more so.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We went to the Dodgers game.
Yeah.
I mean,
They did
if
go
one
to
of the
the
big
Dodgers game.
criteria are LANs, High-Five was a monster
Dude,
every LAN he's ever played at.
High-Five shows up LAN and just starts his reign of terror.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we're pretty happy with this list. I think it actually came together pretty well with
Pretty
this
good list.
methodology. Yeah. So, I know Marmalou's got to peace out pretty soon, so I'll let you just speak first here, Marmalou. We're gonna do a quick closing thoughts here. Were there any players, on the list that you wish you could have put, but they just didn't quite make it? Not enough LAN experience, maybe underrated. Was there any overrated? And who are kind of your rising stars that you think will be climbing the list in no time?
Let's see, who did I not put? People that are underrated or had more experience? I guess like the G6 guys, like most of those people. Like the main, I could think of that don't have enough. People like Alex who were good during when COVID was a thing, so they couldn't go to LANs. A lot of those guys.
Yeah.
Underrated, snubbed. Guess just new people. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Yeah, that's a tough one, huh? I guess you don't really like the boomers too much, right? So a lot of them maybe.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, some of them may have been overrated to you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely agree. LAN experience definitely cut a few people short. Alex.exe, a lot of you guys tried to put him on your list, and I had to remind you he doesn't quite have the LAN experience for it. Delpo was another one that showed up in that situation a couple times. But hey, there's going to be LAN opportunities in the future, so hopefully they can show up someday and earn their place on a list like this. I definitely want to talk about rising stars a little. The current players on like Witness Gaming, G6. I think they can, if they continue to play, continue showing up to LANs, they can definitely rise up. Jay, even some of you guys, we're waiting for Jay to have a longer resume, but if he keeps playing, I feel like top 10 is going to be a no-brainer for him. Any other players like that on your guys' mind?
G6 gang.
Yeah, I think
I'll say Soapy. I like Soapy.
Soapy.
Even though
Soapy, yeah.
when I was playing, I was low-key the counter to Soapy. Like, I was like, every time we scrimmed against him, free YouTube video. Just like, he farming the shit out of him. He's easy, but his comps are really good. His bombs are really good, and he has that what do you call it? Market Garner, X Factor.
Yeah.
He's good. He'll break top 50.
Soapy,
like,
that's what you're talking about? Yeah, there's
Yeah,
also the intangibles. I think Soapy is a good intangibles player because I feel like he can be the team scapegoat as well, so that
That's
works.
fact.
Team
He's a
Dumpy.
punching bag, yes.
Exactly.
Team Dumpy, exactly.
Team Dumpy.
Where's our
I know what that
dumping
feels
tier
like.
list? Brandon's got to be number one.
Habib's number one
Oh,
by
Habib
far.
number one.
Yeah,
Habib
Habib's
number
number
one.
one.
Habib's
That's by
number one.
far
Habib's number one.
I
Definitely
am the
Habib.
Habib,
Team Dumpy.
sometimes I just need something to release all the pressure that's been built up, all right?
Okay, is Brandon number two? Who's number two?
Caps.
Yeah. So that's a whole nother tier list.
But
I'm
Brandon's
sure we
got
could
the longevity of being the
we
number
could come up with
content.
those, but I know Marmalou's got to go, so I'll just open up. Anyone else have any last closing thoughts? I think we came up with a great list. I really appreciate all you guys contributing. Maybe we can do this again someday and see how things change. But yeah, any last thoughts, guys? If you want to make any shout outs or give any sort of reflections on this, go ahead.
Artist is goated. Will be goated more soon. That's kind of it.
True.
Pretty much WG, G6, please keep playing.
Mhm.
I hope so. Yeah.
I really hope nothing accidental happens.
Alex.exe. Good demo. Needs to go land.
Yeah.
And then he'll make
Yep.
my
Yep.
top
Yep.
50.
I really wish
Seen him
Delpo-
around again.
Really
Alex
wish
low-key
Delpo was still
demo
around.
diff Habib. That RGL season demo diff.
High
I
key,
didn't want to say it.
high
I
key.
didn't want
And
to
he-
say it.
and he
He
had
got
higher
crazy
ping than me.
pills.
That
And he had
was
higher
the
ping than
dementia
me.
season, though.
He had
That was
higher ping
prime
than me, too.
dementia.
That was prime dementia. That was
The dementia dumpy.
that was post recovery.
All right. Well then, I guess we can all appreciate also the top 100 that was created that sort of inspired this, because I think we all can see that it's a lot of work, a lot of thought goes into something like this. To everyone that contributed or is going to make a future list, hope you have fun with it and good luck. I think it's a good conversation that we can, keep carrying on to honor the players that came before and celebrate TF2 and all the great players that play this game. So thank you guys again for participating, for submitting, for everyone for tuning in, and look forward to more events, more content coming your way. It's been a pleasure. So we'll be signing off now. Thanks, guys. And I think we go here. One more reminder, everyone can pick up some merch to support what we're doing. More events coming soon, and that's it. Peace, guys.